Hey guys, Papa Pete back with another pickup video. This time I got some great things. I got books, I've got games, I've got a great assortment of just different unusual stuff. And I'm really happy to share them with you here today. Stick around.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Hey guys, the first thing I want to share with you today is a book by one of my favorite retro video game authors. I've read several of his books, and this project was probably his biggest one to date. And what I have here is Volume 2 of the SNES Omnibus by Brett Weiss. An absolutely amazing book. Look at the size of this book. Hardcover book with all of every single NSTC Super Nintendo game from N to Z. Now you might have remembered I picked up Volume 1. He released Volume 1 a few months ago. So I was ever so happy to pick up Volume 2. There's my Volume 1. And here's Volume 2. This one's just come out and it goes right. What's the first game in it? The first game is probably NBA or NA something. Natsume Championship Wrestling. And it goes right through to the end to Zoop. Zoop's the very last game. Plus some other information on the Super Game Boy. How many pages is this? It's just amazing. I guess the pages aren't numbered, but it's thick. It's got to be about 400 or 500 pages. And beautiful, glossy color illustrations of every game. What great work. As you see, signed by the author right there. Gotta love it. So, Brett Weiss's SNES Omnibus Volume 2. And along with that, he was throwing in some things, so I actually gave a little bit extra money and I picked up Classic Home Video Games 89 to 90. So that's another one of his books. This is a 3-part series with different games. This one covers the Genesis mostly right here. Genesis and the Neo Geo's on the cover. And that is information on every game released for those two systems. Great pickups. I love retro gaming books. I'll do a more detailed review on the SNES Omnibus in the near future. Now my next pickup is a little bit off topic, but of course we've talked quite a bit on here about wrestling and how much. I may not watch wrestling as much right now. I did watch WrestleMania. Who doesn't? You gotta watch WrestleMania every year in the Royal Rumble. But I used to follow it very, very closely. And when I picked up, I got a really great deal on the WWE Encyclopedia of Sports Entertainment. Those are great books. This is a 3rd edition here, so it's a little bit older one. I'm not sure if there's a 4th one or not. I suppose I could take a look. But anyway, I saw this at a local store, and it was marked down. I got it for like less than 20 bucks, like 15 bucks or something like that. So I was really happy to add it to my collection. I love all the pages on each wrestler. There's wrestlers in here who I say I'd heard of, but are really little-known wrestlers. Just all-encompassing. It really covers a lot of great people. Guys that I remember from when I was a kid. And man, I loved wrestling when I was a kid, right up through, well, really about 10 years ago. And I was just so happy to get this because it's something to just pick up, flip through a few pages, and read about some of your favorite wrestling stars. Right down to the local action that was here in Atlantic Canada. Really kind of neat. Now my next pickup is an eBay purchase. And it has a pretty interesting story behind it too. I was kind of surprised. I was playing around with eBay, just checking all the different things. I always check the things that are just about to end. I always check the things that are just listed in case there's a buy it now that I really want to jump on. But I noticed on there, and it's the first time I'd really looked at it very much, I clicked distance, nearest first. And one come up that was like 20 minutes away from me. And I couldn't believe what it was. I picked up a copy of Street Fighter II, The World Warrior, for the Super Famicom. And it was in a town just like 15 minutes away that we go to a couple times a week anyway. And we were heading down the next week, so from Canada, the shipping tends to be very expensive. So this was a song on there, but for anybody else to buy it, the shipping was very expensive, whereas I could just pick it up. So I got it for like 10 bucks. How do you beat that? Super Fighter 2 for the Super Famicom. It's my first Super Famicom game, and to get it in the box like that, it's in good shape. The book's there. It really is Just a great addition to the collection. So happy to have found it in such a unique way. And I'll tell you this, from now on, I'm going to keep my eye on the nearest auctions going on eBay. Great pickup. Now my next couple pickups are for my NES collection and also for my Xbox collection. Always working on that Xbox collection. Anyway, I was up in Fredericton, New Brunswick yesterday. We went for a drive and they have a couple different markets around. One of them has this place called the Game Dealer in it. And I took a look in, didn't see a whole lot special there, but I did pick up a couple games for my collection. The first one is a basketball title, which I'm sure we've all heard of. It's an absolute common. This is the epitome of a common game, but hoops. Didn't have it. Saw it for a great price. Actually, I just went to buy something else and they really didn't give me the price that I wanted. So I said, hey, throw in hoops with it. They said, yeah, okay, no problem. So that's how I ended up with it. So I always like to get a bit of a deal. And because I got this game with it, I got a bit of a deal. I can remember playing it back in the 80s. We used to rent this once in a while. Not a real incredible basketball game, but still worth playing a little bit. Now the next game I picked up at the same place was for my Xbox collection, and that is Reckless, the Yakuza missions. And I'm going to tell you this right off the bat, I don't know a thing about this game. It's a standard old racing game, looks like just a battling, maybe something like a Twisted Metal. I'm going to check it out, and yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Street racing with a Twisted Metal type of background. Now the last game I got from my Xbox collection in this lot is one that I had heard of. And in the software that I use, it listed as a fairly rare game, and I was kind of surprised to see it there on just the common rack. But what I picked up was Tie 3, the Tasmanian Tiger, Night of the Quinkin, I guess it is. Anyway, it's just a standard platformer, sort of a 3D platformer, run and gun game, your standard fare, but it is reasonably highly rated, and again, not an incredibly common game. It was in great shape. The book is just like new, so is the disc. Just the opportunity was there to pick this one up and at it, so here we are. Tie 3, the Tasmanian Tiger. Now the next games that I picked up were taking advantage of the special they had at GameStop this weekend. Actually here in Canada it's called EB Games. And they had all of their PS3 and their Xbox 360 titles for $20, which is pretty good up here because they usually want $10, $15, $20 even for the used games once they get older. Anyway, I did pick up 4 games. I just look for complete games. I like Xbox 360. I don't buy too many PlayStation games. PlayStation 3 games, sorry. But I did pick up a few from my Xbox 360 collection, even though I'm not really working on that hard. It was a good opportunity to pick some stuff up that would be otherwise worth quite a bit more money up here. I did pick up Street Fighter X Tekken Special Edition, and that's the not for resale edition. I haven't looked up too much about this game. Obviously, it's just a fighting game with the characters from Street Fighter and Tekken. And the not for resale edition, one thing about it is I look at it online, it's a totally different cover. So I'm going to do some more research on this to see how much of a rarity that game is. And maybe I get a real gem here. I don't know. I have to check it out. The next game I got was Guilty Gear 2 Overture. Guilty Gear is a fun fighting game, beat 'em up game, multiplayer like fighting game, up to 4 players. And I can remember playing it on different systems. I just had never had this game. It caught my eye in that batch because there's a lot of sports games and stuff. So Guilty Gear 2, I got to take a better look at it, throw it in the old 360, and give her a shot. Now the next one's a game that I really would like to get for the Wii U. I actually want to get the second version, which comes with the first version, so you probably know what it is already. It's Bayonetta by Sega. I've watched all kinds of videos of this game, played a little bit. It's just an amazing action-adventure game, and I'm really looking forward to playing this. I still want to get for the Wii U, though, the Bayonetta 2 that comes with the Bayonetta 1. But still, I thought for the opportunity to get this for $5, it was a great thing to add to my collection. Finally, the last Xbox 360 game that I picked up, old standby, Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cover, WWE 2K16. I've gotten a bunch of different ones over the years. I love them all. They're all slightly different incantations of the same one, the same type of game with different features added and such. And at the time I just saw the one with Stone Cold on the cover. Hey, let's pick her up for $5. So right on. My next pickup is something I picked up on Walmart. I went on last week and there was a big sale, so I've talked about this before, so I never was going to get one, but the price is sort of plummeting, so I jumped at the opportunity. I bet you know what it's going to be.
What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it.
Well, first of all, Mama C's been talking about some games, so I picked something up for the PS4. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. We love the Spyro games. When in the mid-90s, Mama C and I bought Spyro, the original Spyro, when it was out for the PlayStation. We both played it at a time. We had both of the, I think there was at least two sequels. We had those as well. Probably burnt them somewhere. Anyway, so when we talked about getting some games, she wanted to play some games. She thought, well, get me Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, and I'll start playing them again. So we got her Spyro. It was on sale. It was a great deal. Walmart. And of course, what was I talking about when I said I was waiting for the price to go down? I finally got myself a PlayStation Classic. I don't know if I'm going to open it and try it out, if I'm going to open it and play with it, or I'm just going to leave it sealed and put it on the shelf with everything else. I don't know. Kind of had to have one when the price went down as low as it did. I wasn't paying $120 for it. That's what it was up here. But when the price went down as low as it did, man, I had to have one just to say I had one. Anyhow, I'm happy to have it. It's a great addition to the collection. PlayStation Classic. And I think I'll probably pick up another one when they go down even more. Alright, so now I'm down to my last item for this pickup video. And it's something that I got on eBay. I was very, very happy with. I've been trying to get this forever. It's actually a game I had when I was a kid, so you probably know what system it's for the Atari 2600, right? Atari VCS. I've had a real hard time finding this for a price that I wanted to pay. $30, $40, $50. I ended up getting this one because it was buried in with a multi-sale of different games where you could pick the game on eBay, and it was an amazing price. I grabbed it for like 11 bucks. Here it is. Alright, here it is. It's even in a protective case, which is absolutely awesome. Pitfall for the Atari 2600. The auction said, I'm not going to open it up right now, the auction said it had the insert, it had the manual, cartridge of course, and this game, I had it when I was a kid. I have no idea why. It's the biggest selling Atari 2600 game of all time, or Activision game at least of all time. But it's such a quality game, it's such a well-known game, it still fetches a pretty hefty price. And I feel that I got a great price for this game. So I was so happy to add this to my collection. Now I'm going to look for Pitfall 2. It's one more towards my magic number of 44 in the Activision collection for the Atari 2600. And one that I knew I could always find if I just wanted to fork out the money. But part of the game is to try to get it for the best deal possible. And I think I finally did that. So happy to have this game, which I had when I was a kid, and add it to my collection. Well guys, that's it for this pickup video. What an amazing bunch of stuff. I got NES games, PS4 games, 360 games, stuff from my Xbox collection. Great Atari 2600 Activision pickup. The Super Famicom box game with manual. Like, that's amazing. I got Doctor Strange. Who can forget about Doctor Strange? Excellent movie. A PlayStation Classic. I don't know if that's a great thing or not, but hey, had to have one. Had to have one. Not to mention the great books by Brett Weiss, as well as the big WWE Encyclopedia. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for spending a little bit of time with me today. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget. Kindness matters.
Papa P, the old ass gamer. Papa P, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Hey, it's your girl JLum81, and you're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
What the hell?